Hello and welcome back to this week's Jules of Wisdom. Now today's topic for discussion is motivation. Now I'm sure like me at some point in your life we've all suffered from a lack of motivation, and there's been something else that we find far more stimulating that we go and do. But what is it that is about that other thing that is more interesting and more exciting to us than maybe the goal that we have in mind? What is it that's putting us off? What is it that's perhaps making us procrastinate? Because procrastination usually comes in with a bit of a lack of motivation at some point, and how can we overcome it? Now, as you know, I like to take elements of what we learn in sport and take it into the business world or life generally. Now, what can we do when that happens, particularly if it's over a long period of time and it's starting to affect not only our success and our wins in life and in business, but also it's starting to affect our own health as well? Because as you know, I'm a great believer in your external world greatly affects your internal world, because it causes this response of pressure and stress, which then affects everything we feel, how we perform, not just mentally but physically as well, and over a long extended period of time builds up tension in the body. We start getting more chronic pain issues and all that kind of thing. So what I want to do is help you get back on track of your motivation, so you get out there and start achieving all those amazing things that you want to achieve. Now, most high flyers, most high performers have no problem with this, and when they find themselves getting a bit demotivated, they have little tricks and things that they do to get them back focused and keep doing what they're doing. They're choosing to make more positive choices. But what if you're really struggling? Now, in sport, they have different techniques that they use to motivate an athlete, or the athlete may use for themselves, but we can take these little tips that can be really useful and start implementing them in our life. Now, my last video, I actually spoke about a few little routines that are really good, and having routines, especially starting your day. I mean, you can implement them kind of when you want. Some people it'll be start of the day, sometimes it'll be at the end of the day before you go to bed, or throughout. You might have special routines you do, many different ones that you do throughout the day. I personally like to start my day well, so I like to have some form of physical activity. So I'll get up, I like to go for a walk, especially when the weather's good, get into the gym, have a good workout. All these things get my energy up and get me motivated and excited. If I have a bit of extra time, or I get up a little bit early, maybe spend 20 minutes, half an hour reading something, so feeding my mind with positive stuff, something I can learn and maybe implement in my life as well. That's a good way of doing it. Other people, it might be meditation or breath work, doing visualization techniques. All these sort of things you can implement relatively easily. Other things, again, are things like the self-talk. What are you talking to yourself about? What things are you saying to yourself? Are they negative or are they positive? So positive self-talk, really important. And as I said, just mentioned about visualization, visualizing your day, see yourself getting motivated, getting exciting, getting the jobs done that you need to do. Because if you're preventing yourself from doing that, you're never going to have that success that you ultimately and consciously actually want to achieve. Now, very often, if you're really struggling with motivation and procrastination and what we call self-sabotage, even though consciously you know everything you've got planned, everything you want to do, everything you have planned to do for that, achieving that goal and that success is positive, and on some conscious level you are excited, what is the cause then for you to self-sabotage and be demotivated and procrastinate? Now, very often with this, there is some element of what we call mind fear. Not actual fear. Actual fear would be like putting your hand in the fire, you're going to get burnt, so you don't do it. But mind fear is sort of stories we've told ourselves based on past experiences, or maybe things people have influenced us in terms of what they said. And we've created a situation, a future situation, that hasn't happened and possibly won't happen, but we've already made it a certainty by our beliefs and values around, maybe it's our ability to do something or have the success we want. So maybe there's some sort of fear of failure or fear of success going on. So what can we do if we're not sure exactly the cause of it, or we know we want to get over this issue, but we're really struggling to move forward and get over it? So I now want to share with you a very quick exercise I'd really love you to give a go, and see if it can bring up maybe that below conscious issue. Because remember, 95% of our thought are subconscious, 5% are conscious. So if that 95% are negative and causing us to procrastinate, self-sabotage and be demotivated, that's really not a good place to be. but we need to really draw it out, because once we've drawn it out and we know exactly what the problem is, and we can see it in front of us, we now know exactly the next step, positive step we need to take to then break through that challenge and move forward and start getting where we want to be. So I want you to just close your eyes for a minute, because remember, the problem is never the problem. It's how we deal with the problem that's the problem. And if you're dealing with it by procrastinating and being demotivated, then we've got to get to the root of the problem. So close your eyes, and I want you to give your mind permission to go to the source of the problem. So you need to just calm yourself. You need to take a few breaths to calm down, relax the whole body, and just allow your mind to go to the source of the problem, because it will only go there when you're in a relaxed, calm state. So if it takes you a few minutes, that's fine. Take the time you need, but just give your mind permission to take you to the source of the problem. Remember, the problem is never the problem. It's how you deal with the problem that's the problem. And what is it that you are not noticing? What is it that you are not noticing? That if you were to notice, would make the difference in your life. So once you've allowed yourself to get into that calm state, you found out what it is you're not noticing, and that if you were to notice it, would make all the difference in your life. Then open your eyes, take a pen and write it down, because very often we get so busy in our day, so much information in our mind, that we might forget it. Write it down so you can't forget it. You see it, it's there right in front of you. Because remember, now it's out in the open, you can see what it is, and you can know which steps, positive steps, you can take to eliminate it. And you're going to quickly break through that challenges, get back on track, because that is what is really important. Making sure you're focused on where you need to be, and getting the life that you deserve, and the continued success and performance that you need. So for me, for today, that's the tip. Take it away, give it a go, try some of those routines, positive self-talk, write some comments, let me know how you've got on. Otherwise, I'd really appreciate if you gave me a thumbs up. If you can, share the video, particularly if you know someone who is struggling with a bit of demotivation and procrastination and self-sabotage. But if not, I look forward to seeing you here next week. Have a fantastic day. Thank you.